Welcome to weekly Forex forecast from Forex Trading Wizard Academy. This is Forex Wizard, the trading coach. I will be doing a complete multi-time frame analysis of all the hottest currency pairs, cryptocurrencies and indices that you will be looking to trade next week. As this is holiday season, we could see a little bit of sideways movement in the market in the beginning of the week, but we are expecting a stronger movement with a strong breakout with the monthly close, as this is the last week of the month, brings a lot of significance. And also upcoming week will be NFP week, so we'll have a clear direction of the most of the pairs from this weekly forex forecast, even from the upcoming weeks as well. So make sure guys you stick till the end of this weekly forex forecast to know exactly what we are planning, and also let me know in the comment section what's your plan for this week in this market. Now I'll be starting with one by one, starting with DXY to see how the market is doing from DXY perspective, and then we'll jump on to all the USD pairs as well as gold and indices and WTI. Now before I begin this weekly forex forecast, make sure that you smash the like button and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't done yet. Without further delay, let's get started. Okay, so let's begin first of all with DXY, as DXY will give us clear direction of most of the USD pairs including gold, looking at the monthly to see overall direction in the market. Now this is the second month that DXY is dropping from this monthly resistance level, and currently the price is almost below this monthly support level. What I think that before the monthly close we might see a bit more pullback and another wave of drop, as this is the last week of the month, a bit of slower week, so we could see that initial pullback and then return back to the monthly support again. If we look at the weekly time frame, we can see that this is the weekly price action, which is also a bearish price action, starting with this drop, correction, drop, correction, drop. We can expect slower correction and then another wave of drop to drop back to this weekly support level. This is a very significant weekly support, and I think that slowly we might see that the market is dropping further to test this support, or even to create an inverted head and shoulder with this weekly support, dropping down and then going back up again before the monthly close or after the monthly close. Now looking at daily chart to see how the price is doing, we can see that from the daily there was a gap opening here, and the price was respecting this resistance level. With that gap opening, there was a triangular pattern, which is a typical bearish price action. After a drop, a triangle has broken to the downside, but I think that this week we might see that the price will try to retest this level, and that could be a pullback before the monthly close, and we can expect further drop from this resistance level. Now if we look at the intraday perspective, where the price is respecting this level for longer term, this is the resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. I will be waiting for a pullback to the upside, and with that pullback to this level, which is a long-term resistance, we can expect DXY to drop back to this support level, as this is also a support here, and we can expect for the price to drop before the monthly close and then to return back to the original direction of the trend. So this is where I think the DXY is going to form this wave, and based on this we will be analyzing all the USD pairs, starting with AUDUSD, looking at first of all monthly chart now to see overall picture in the market. Now from the monthly AUDUSD, this is the second last week of the month, second monthly candle, and after this monthly bullish candle this month also we saw that AUDUSD has formed this strong bullish price action. And with that bullish price action, what we have seen that the price currently is coming down for a pullback, and I think that with the this week as the last week we could see deeper pullback before trying to jump back again to the monthly resistance level. Now if we look at the weekly time frame, we can see that from the weekly perspective on AUDUSD there is an impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. We can expect deeper correction and then we can expect another impulse to the upside from the weekly time frame. Now looking at daily chart on AUDUSD, we can see that from the daily perspective, this is the daily price action where there is a big impulse and the price is maintaining typical bullish market structure. As we are expecting DXY to initially go up and then to drop, we can expect on AUDUSD to drop down to this support level, and from this zone we can expect to remain bullish as it is a long-term bull market. And I think that before the monthly close we can expect a retest of this daily resistance level. If we look at further lower time frame on AUDUSD, I will be waiting for a local breakdown. As we see, the market is maintaining this dynamic support level along with this 10 and 20 EMA. We will be waiting for a break from this structure. Any break from the structure to this support level can give us suitable entry on AUDUSD. As soon as we will find suitable entry for this potential bullish move to the upside, we will look for going long on AUDUSD with a high probability trade setup. Now let's look at GBPUSD, looking at monthly time frame. Now from the monthly on GBPUSD, we can see that previous months a long bullish candle. This month so far GBPUSD has formed a narrower candle. There is a strong response from the buyers, and I think that we can expect now before the monthly close a deeper pullback before jumping back up again. If we look at the weekly time frame, where we can see that this is the weekly candle that is closed, which is a narrower doji, and I think that this week we might see that the price will try to retest this weekly support level, and from that support we can expect GBPUSD to have another bounce to the upside to create a new higher high. Now looking at the daily chart on GBPUSD, we can see that from the daily it is maintaining bullish market structure. If you look at here, we can see that after cross of this 20 EMA there is a big bounce. The price has come back to this 20 EMA again after gathering multiple liquidity. Here GBPUSD has formed a very strong bullish structure here. This is a strong impulse followed by a consolidation, and from that level we can see that GBPUSD may drop down to this support level, and I will be expecting on GBPUSD to drop to this support to gather liquidity and then to bounce back up again to the upside. Now from the intraday perspective on GBPUSD, I will be waiting for the price to drop back to this liquidity zone, as below this level there is a high liquidity. As soon as we see that GBPUSD has broken below this level, we'll look for going long on GBPUSD with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now let's look at $CAD to see how the price is doing. Now from the monthly time frame on $CAD, we can see that in this monthly perspective, $CAD this month also was in a very strong bearish move, and if you look at this impulse on the monthly, this is a complete vertical move on $CAD. Straight has come back to that level, means that we will see that the price is testing this monthly support before the monthly close or after the monthly close, and from that zone we could see the $CAD again returning back to the upside. So there is a high probability for further drop on $CAD. Now looking at the weekly time frame, from the weekly perspective on $CAD, we can see that this is the weekly price action where the price was maintaining typical bearish market structure, which is a downtrending market. Now past week we saw a middleman formation in that area. Now with that middleman formation, what we can expect on dollar CAD to go back up for a pullback and then to drop down to this monthly support that we are expecting. Now looking at the daily chart on dollar CAD, we can see that from the daily time frame, this is the daily price action where there is a drop, correction, drop, a narrower correction, and we saw that last day of trading week a long week candle. And as we are expecting initially DXY to go up in dollar CAD, also you could see the same pattern, and I will be waiting for any kind of pullback to the upside, especially if we see that dollar CAD has managed to break to the upside to this resistance level. We look for going short on dollar CAD. If we look at the intraday perspective, where you can see that the price was maintaining this dynamic resistance level, I will be waiting for a break of structure, and then we can look for potential short from this level with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now let's look at euro dollar. Let's see what kind of price action we have. Now looking at the monthly on euro dollar, we can see that second month euro dollar is still bullish. After this immediate drop euro dollar, we saw that there is a bounce back to the upside, and this is the monthly impulse on euro dollar has come to this level. As the price has reached the same level, we could see that euro dollar is retesting this monthly high, as there is a high liquidity above this level. As the price moves from liquidity to liquidity, we can expect euro dollar to go back up to test this resistance level. Now if we look at the weekly time frame on euro dollar, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is where there is a this is a liquidity candle on the weekly, which is in fact a very important resistance level. And what I think that this week we might see the price will try to test this resistance, as there is a liquidity above this level. After breaking that high, we could see return back to the downside. Now if we look at the daily chart, what we see that from the daily, it is maintaining a bullish market structure, an impulse and a bullish structure. And from that level, what we can expect on euro dollar for the price to drop down below this level. There is a high liquidity in that area, and as soon as we see that euro dollar has dropped, gather liquidity, we can look for potential buying opportunity. If we look at further lower time frame on euro dollar, we will be waiting for a break of the structure along this area. As soon as we see that suitable entry opportunity on euro dollar, we'll look for going long with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now let's look at yen pair, and then we will be looking at gold and WTI and indices. Now looking at dollar yen, starting with monthly time frame. Now from the monthly, we can see that first of all, bigger picture, dollar yen is a long-term bullish market with this impulse, narrow correction, impulse, correction, impulse, deeper correction. Now the price is creating series of higher high and higher low in this area. Now if we look at that market structure on dollar yen, this break from the monthly, which is in fact a typical bearish market structure, we see that the price has broken down, and we can expect for this price to drop further before bouncing back up to the monthly long-term direction. This is this monthly break on dollar yen, which is an unusual, and you can see that as the price has already come back down to this monthly support, any drop further will become an overextension, and we can look for going long for long-term perspective on dollar yen. Now if we look at the weekly chart, where we can see that from the weekly, dollar yen back to back, quite a few weeks of strong drop has come back to this weekly support level. Now what we saw that this weekly candle that has closed with a very long wick at the top, which signaling potential further rejection, as the sellers are very strong in this market, and I think that dollar yen might come back down to this before the monthly close to this level. With the weakness on DXY, we could see the dollar yen dropping down, and from this zone it is bouncing back up towards its long-term monthly direction. Now if we look at the daily chart on dollar yen, we can see that from the daily perspective, the price was maintaining typical downtrending market structure, which is potentially bearish market. And with that typical downtrending market structure on dollar yen, we see that the price is maintaining series of lower high in that area. Now what we will be waiting on dollar yen for the price to give us potential entry opportunity for this potential drop, as dollar yen is still maintaining downtrending market structure. We can expect for this price on the local time frame to drop further. Now if we look at the intraday perspective on dollar yen, we can see that in this local time frame the price is maintaining this resistance level. What we can expect on dollar yen initially to go back up to break any of this resistance can give us suitable entry, as we are expecting is still dollar yen to drop to this monthly support level. This is where I will be waiting for potential selling opportunity on dollar yen as soon as we find suitable entry opportunity. Now let's look at GBPJPY, looking at monthly time frame. Now from the monthly we can see that like the dollar yen, GBPJPY also long-term bullish market. If you look at this monthly long wick candle, followed by there is a strong impulse, followed by we have seen that quite a few months of consolidation, and suddenly this month we have seen that GJ had a huge drop. Now this drop is completely against the major trend, and with the drop what I think that GJ might try to break this monthly low. As we saw an impulse, the price failed to create a new higher high. We could see that GBPJPY coming down to break the low to create a new lower low before bouncing back up to the monthly direction. Now if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that like the dollar yen, GJ also had a back-to-back 3 weeks of bearish move, followed by previous week we saw a long wick candle, which is also eventually a bearish price action, as it has maintaining still series of lower high with a long wick signaling potential sell off in that area, and we can expect GJ to drop down to create a new lower low. So this is where we can expect GBPJPY also to remain bearish in the upcoming week as well. Now looking at the daily chart, where we can see that GBPJPY maintaining also series of lower high below this 20 EMA. Last day of trading week we saw a very narrower daily candle on GJ, and what we can expect on GBPJPY for the price to create a new lower low and then to drop back down to this daily support level. Now looking at the intraday perspective on GJ, where we can see that from the lower time frame there is a very strong bounce, followed by the price is creating series of lower high and lower low. Now this is where we can see that GJ here is quite a few candles of pullback, as this market is still maintaining bearish market structure. I will be waiting for any of this liquidity zone to be broken, and after break of this structure, any break of the structure, we'll look for going short on GBPJPY with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now let's look at gold to see how the market is doing. Looking at monthly chart on gold. Now from the monthly we can see that gold has formed a very interesting price action. First of all, this monthly candle, we saw that in the first couple of weeks there was a very aggressive move to the upside, gathered liquidity from this all-time high, and we have seen that gold had a big drop, huge breakdown, has come to this monthly support. Now at this point the price is above the monthly resistance level, and this zone on gold is a no man's land. As you can see, the price except this month have never tested this level. And what I think that this month we could see that gold will try to drop further before the monthly close. And what I think that we could see a monthly close as a narrow doji, that could be a red doji or a narrow green doji. That means that this week we could see gold dropping down a little to the downside before the monthly close, and any bounce to the upside could give us selling opportunity on gold to this monthly support level. Now if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that from the weekly perspective it was a long-term bull market. We saw there is a strong bounce followed by a correction, a bounce, deeper correction, back to back 2 weeks of bullish move. This is the weekly candle, and as the price has bounced back from this level, what I think that this week we might see that the price after pullback to the upside coming back down in that area. Now if we draw a monthly level, which is the monthly opening and closing, which is quite significant level of support here, and if we look at on the weekly, what I think that this week we might see gold initially going back up to test 50% or the high of this weekly candle and coming back down before the monthly close. That might give us a monthly doji. Now if we draw 50% of this level, this could be the zone that this week we could see that gold is going up and down. Now if we look at the daily chart, where we can see a long wick candle from the daily time frame, that candle has a no wick at the bottom in this trading view. And what we could see that this week initially the price is going up to test this level and then dropping down to this support level, or even dropping down further before the monthly close. We could see the price returning back. So these are some of the levels that we can look for potential selling and buying opportunity on gold. Now if I dropping down to the further lower time frame for 4-hour perspective, we see that there is a sharp rejection, and with that rejection what we can expect gold to go back up to retest this level. This is where we can expect gold to go back up, as this is the 50% of the weekly long week, and from this zone we can expect gold to drop back down to this liquidity zone, as below this level there is a liquidity. I will be waiting on the lower time frame for a potential selling opportunity on gold. As soon as we see that gold has formed a strong reversal, as it is still maintaining a bullish market structure, any kind of confirmation for this change of trend, you look for going short on gold in the beginning of the trading week with a high probability trade setup with our students. And during the week, if we see that gold has broken any of this liquidity zone, I'll keep you updated guys with analysis and during the live session for any kind of bullish opportunity coming up in the market. Now if you are enjoying this analysis, make sure guys you are smashing the like button and also hitting that subscribe button if you haven't done yet. And also if you want to join us to learn the strategy that I am trading and also trade with me, you can find a link below this video in the description area. You can visit the website, join us to be part of the trading community. Now let's look at some other pairs that might give us entry opportunities, such as WTI. Looking at monthly time frame on WTI, from the monthly perspective we can see that WTI is back to back 3 months of bearish move. This month so far the price is going up for a pullback on WTI, and this is the monthly impulse followed by this correction. And what I think that WTI might be dropping down further, as we saw a big monthly impulse. A huge drop can bring that price back to this monthly support level. Now if we look at the weekly perspective, we can see that there is a big drop on the weekly, back to back 2 weeks of pullback, which in fact not a very strong response from the buyers. That means that we can expect further drop on WTI, and that could lead this price to this monthly support level before the monthly close. Now if we look at the daily chart on WTI, we can see that from the daily there is a daily pin bar followed by a bullish effort, which is a very narrower doji, and followed by another stronger bearish pin bar last day of trading week, giving a very high probability for WTI to drop further to the downside, as we saw a big move. But here, after crossing that daily 20 MA, the price is maintaining series of lower high in that trend line. Now if you draw this trend line on the daily on WTI, we can see that the market is maintaining that resistance level, and we can expect for this price to drop down to this support level to test this support. And this is where I will be waiting for selling opportunity on WTI, as it is a downtrending market. The price has gathered liquidity multiple times, completed a complete a head and shoulder. That's the sign that WTI is likely to drop further with the market opening. I'll be waiting for a selling opportunity on WTI. As soon as we will find suitable entry, we'll look for going short on WTI with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now let's look at US30. Let's see what kind of opportunity currently we have. Looking at the monthly perspective, now US30 from the monthly, it is a bull market. As you can see, after previous monthly very sharp bullish engulfer, this month the price has formed a narrower but is still a bullish candle. What I think that this week we might see the price is coming down for a pullback, and then we can expect for the price to go back up to create a new higher high. Now looking at the weekly chart on US30, we can see that from the weekly, this is a very strong impulse on the weekly, followed by a narrow candle, followed by we saw back-to-back 2 weeks of bullish move, where we can see that a narrower candle here on the weekly on US30, and with that narrower doji from the weekly perspective on US30, we can expect for the price to drop further and for a deeper pullback, and then we can expect for the price to go back up again to create a new higher high. Now looking at the daily chart on US30, we can see that from the daily the market is maintaining a very sharp strong bullish market structure, and I will be waiting for any of this swing low to be broken for this potential bullish momentum again on US30. Now if you look at here, we can see that the market is maintaining still a bullish market structure, leaving a very important support level. I will be waiting for that support to be broken, especially if we see that US30 managed to break this support level. We will look for going long on US30 with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now let's look at NASDAQ. Looking at the monthly perspective on NASDAQ, we can see that from the monthly it is also maintaining a bullish market structure. If we look at this price action here on the monthly, we can see that there is an impulse followed by a narrow correction. It is in another impulsive phase on NASDAQ. Now this is the monthly candle. So far has maintained so far a bullish momentum, and I think that this week we might see initial pullback, and then we can expect for the price to go back up to create a new higher high. Now looking at the weekly perspective, we can see that from the weekly this is a pin bar from the weekly, followed by there is a very strong impulse followed by a pin bar, and we can expect for the price to keep pushing high, though the previous week a narrower candle, and I think that this week we might see deeper pullback. If we see the price has dropped back to this weekly support. Daily chart on NASDAQ, we can see that like US30, it is also maintaining typical bullish market structure. There is an impulse followed by a narrow doji, there is another impulse followed by a deeper long week candle, and what I think that this week we might see that NASDAQ is dropping down below this level, and as soon as we can see that Nasdaq has dropped below this level, we'll look for going long on Nasdaq. Now if we look at further lower time frame on Nasdaq, we will see that we can see the price is maintaining that typical bullish market structure. Any break of this support, we will look for going long on Nasdaq with a high probability trade setup with our students. I hope that guys and girls, you have enjoyed this weekly Forex forecast. If you find value in it, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also press that bell notification so that you are not missing out any of the content that I am posting every single day. In addition to that, if you want to join us to learn the strategy that I am trading and also be part of our trading community, you can find a link below this video in the description area. You can visit the website, join us to be part of Forex Trading Wizard Academy. Thank you, and I'll see you soon in my next analysis.